Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Ahmad Khalil Irfan bin Khalid and I'm going to talk about YouTube manometer. So the introductions. First, manometer is a device that uses liquid columns in vertical or inclined tubes to measure pressure. There are three types of manometer that is commonly used. We have piezometer tube manometer, we have U-tube manometer, and we also have inclined tube manometer. For this experiment, we will use U-tube manometer to measure pressure. So objective. The objective of this experiment is to show that U-tube that is partially filled with liquid can work as a device to measure pressure. Next objective would be to learn how U-tube works. The hypothesis of the experiment would be that U-tube that is partially filled with liquid can work as a device to measure pressure. So this is the experiment setup. We have syringe, we have measuring scale, we have U-tube, we have silicone tube. In setting up the experiment, make sure that first, the trapped air bubbles are removed by squeezing the tube. The gas syringe is positioned without its plunger before doing the experiment. As we can see in the diagram, the syringe doesn't have any plunger in it before doing the experiment. In the U-tube, we partially fill the U-tube with colored liquids. So the methodology of the experiment. So this is how it goes. First, the experiment needs to be set up like figure 1. Then the plunger was inserted carefully into the cylinder of gas syringe. The height difference, which is h, between the menisci of water columns were read from the U-tube. Syringe was put out and loaded with 10 grams of weight, and we inserted inside the cylinder and we take the h reading again. And the previous steps were repeated by adding 10 grams of weight for each time measuring. So, the results and discussion. In evaluating the experiments, first needs to be measured using the formula Fg equal to mgh. We also need to calculate pressure by using the formula P equal to Fg over A, which is the cross-sectional area of the cylinder. In this experiment, the data that are given are basically the mass of plunger at the first round of experiment, which is 67 gram. We also have cross-sectional area of cylinder, which is A equal to 4.9 cm squared. The results of calculation were put in table 1. So this is table 1. We have all the data plot. We have all the data table in one table. This is graph H against P. We use the value of H against P to make a graph, and it resulted to approximately a straight line. So the data analysis from graph H against P, when height difference, which is H, values are plotted against pressure P, the graph resulted to a straight line approximately. The line extension runs through the origin of the system coordinates, proving that H values are proportional to P. It proved that U-tube can be used as a device to measure pressure in gases. In this context, the manometer needs to be connected to a vessel containing gas. So, in conclusion, the objective of the experiment is achieved through this experiment. Partially filled with liquid U-tube can be used to measure pressure. The results obtained by doing the experiment have proven the hypothesis, so hypotheses are accepted. I think that is all from me. Thank you.